All right. So let's get started today. Coming down to a nice easy seat, bringing your blanket down on the ground here. You can unroll it as much as you would like. You can roll it up as much as you would like, just to allow some comfort for yourself as we come down onto the mat. So finding a nice cross-legged position if that's comfortable for you, or bringing the legs up to wherever is comfy. Just finding the sit bones rooted into the blanket here. Nice. And then we're just gonna start to find some length in our spine, drawing the crown of the head up, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, and really rooting both sit bones down. Bringing the hands to wherever's comfy, maybe on the knees, maybe alongside of you. And maybe just starting class here by closing the eyes or softening the gaze down towards the tip of the nose. Nice. And we'll just take a few moments here just to start to look inward. Just to notice what's going on in our body. Noticing any sensations that come up, any feelings that arise. Starting to scan the body from the top of the head all the way down to the shoulders, all the way down the length of the spine, still fighting for that nice long length in the spine here. Down to the sit bones, noticing the arms, noticing the legs, feeling the contact of the mat underneath you, the blanket underneath you. Nice. So as I mentioned, with this class will be 3 parts. First we'll go through a little basic warm-up, then we'll be going through a little bit more of a myofascial release, and then we will be getting into some restore. Nice. Let's bring our awareness to our breath now. Starting to take our breath in and out through the nose or the mouth, deepening the breath down into the core of your being, letting the ribs expand in all directions, the stomach get nice and big, and slowly letting that sigh out nice and steady. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling, pulling that breath down here, and slowly letting it out. 1 more time. Today we'll be focusing on our shoulder girdles, our shoulders, and some of our hips. So if your eyes are closed, gently blink them open here. Nice. Sitting up nice and straight here, fighting for that connection, right? Finding that length in the spine. We're gonna bring our hands to the tops of our elbows here, or tops of our shoulders, I'm sorry. Nice. Starting to core set the ribs in here, finding the ab engagement. We're just gonna start to bring little circles into our elbows. Just starting to open up through our rotator cuffs, through the shoulder girdle. There's lots of ligaments, lots of muscles and bones here in one of our biggest joint systems. 1 more circle to the back here, and then we'll circle up towards the front. Kind of feels a little silly, but just noticing the sensation, not worrying about the details really. Nice. Beautiful. 1 more nice big circle here. And then we'll inhale, release the arms down towards the ground here. Tongue come up on the earth here, so we have a little bit of room. Yeah, nice. From here, we're gonna inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Shrug them, shrug them, shrug them. Feel the sit bones rooting down, and then exhale, roll them down and back. Maybe you notice some sensation here. Inhale, shrug them up. And exhale, roll them down and back. All the while keeping the core set of the ribs close together. 1 more time. Inhale, shrug them up. And exhale, roll them down and back. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to reach the arms out in front of us. And we're going to place the right hand over the left and then start to reach for our tops of our shoulders here. Maybe walking the fingertips around the shoulder blades. And then we're just going to tuck the chin into the chest, giving ourselves a nice little hug. Finding a little bit of movement here, maybe kind of swaying the elbow side to side, starting to open up here in the side body. Nice. 1 more nice deep breath here. And we'll release the arms and switch hands, bringing the left hand over the right this time. Just trying to find balance in the body. tucking the chin, feeling the sit bones still rooted in the earth. The sit bones nice and heavy. Starting to round in the top of the spine here, really tucking the chin, yeah, just like that. One more nice big breath. And slowly release the hands out, bring them alongside of us, and then bring them behind us a little bit. The fingertips pointing the body. We're gonna start to lean back into our hands and just switch the cross of our legs. Yeah, so whatever leg's in front, switching it might feel a little awkward, but that's okay. Nice. Grabbing our block or our bolster here, we're just gonna bring it out, one of these props out in front of us. So whichever you feel you would like, we're just gonna inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, fold over that block or bolster. Bring the props underneath however you would like. You can stack your hands on top of the block or make fists with the hands. You can bring the forehead down onto the block if that's available. Allowing the sit bones in the lower half of the body just to be nice and heavy here. Starting to breathe into the rounding of the spine as we start to open up the myofascia, the connective tissue in the back meridian that starts all the way at the very base of our sacrum and goes all the way up to our skull. So as we sit here for a few breaths, you might start to notice a little bit of a warming sensation in the spine. You might start to notice some opening happening in the hips. You might be able to remove the block, or you might need to back off and bring the hands underneath the forehead for a little bit more support. We'll take 3 more nice deep breaths here. Tucking the chin into the chest now. Rounding forward, perfect. Maybe you walk the fingertips a little bit further from the body. Nice, beautiful. One more nice big breath here. And exhale, we'll sit all the way back up. Nice. This time we're just gonna bring the legs out in front of us. Keeping the blanket underneath you if that feels good, or removing it if you would like. Nice, we're gonna draw the right knee in towards the chest, bringing the right foot alongside the left leg here. Keeping about like a hand foot of space here, a hand of space, just to keep room for our hips. Nice. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna start to twist towards the right as we hook the left elbow either on the right knee here or grabbing the knee here. Nice. Beautiful. Finding our shoulders stacked over the hips, we're gonna cactus that right arm out behind us as we start to really bring in an active twist here. Yeah, just like that. Beautiful. Maybe your gaze goes to the wall behind you. Maybe the elbow. On your inhale, start to lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, yeah. And exhale, maybe the gaze goes a little bit further behind you. One more nice deep breath here. And we'll slowly come back to center. Nice, keeping this leg right in front of you. We're just gonna hook the right arm around it and just bend over it ever so slightly. Yeah, just like that. Keeping that left foot nice and flexed, starting to open up through the hamstrings on the opposite leg. Tucking the chin into the chest, breathing into the rounding of the spine. One more nice deep breath here. And we'll slowly sit all the way back up and we'll switch sides. Bringing that right leg out, tucking the left leg in. Nice, finding a little bit of space here in the hips. Finding the sit bones still rooted down, trying to stack the shoulders over the hips here. Nice options are you can reach around that opposite knee or you can hook the elbow. It just is kind of your preference here, whatever works. Trying to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. We're gonna start to cactus that left arm behind us, drawing the left shoulder blade up onto the body. Nice, maybe the gaze starts to go to the wall behind us, maybe the fingertips. Starting to open up through the ribs, the chest. Lengthening as we breathe, drawing the crown of the head up, lengthening the sit bones down into the ground. One more nice deep breath, just like this. And slowly coming back to center. This time we'll hug that left leg and we'll just fold over that leg. Nice, yeah, perfect. One more nice deep breath. And we'll slowly sit all the way back up. Bringing the legs to Supta Baddha Konasana, feet, soles of the feet together, kind of like a butterfly. You can bring them on the blanket if you would like. You can really close this distance, this little diamond off, or you can make it a little bit bigger, whatever works for you. Nice, yeah. And then just grabbing onto the feet here, we're just gonna start to make full body circles. Trying to keep the sit bones rooted into the earth. Yeah, just like that. Maybe as you come back, you hold onto the feet. Perfect. Just starting to warm up through the hips here. Our hip flexors, our hip joints, the inner and outer hips. Nice and easy. One more circle to the side. And then we'll switch sides. Just trying to find the balance in our body. Nice. Perfect. One more circle just like this. And then we'll sit all the way up. Nice. Maybe it feels good just to kind of like bounce your knees a little bit here. We're gonna bring the hands behind the head here. So we're gonna gently touch the back of the head with our hands. Cactusing our elbows out to the side and core setting our ribs in, trying to find this ab engagement. We're gonna start to work a little bit into our rotator cuffs. So I'm just gonna turn so everyone can see me. Nice. So from here, we're just going to start to pull, keeping the elbows and the shoulders and the arms mostly in their spot. We're going to start to lift the hands off the head here towards the back of the room. Yeah, just like that. Core setting the ribs in, breathing here. And exhale, bring the hands back to the head. We'll do that 2 more times. Just finding the slow movement here as we start to really work into our rotator cuffs. Pulling the fingers towards the back of the room, trying to keep the elbows in place, core setting the ribs together. Exhale, bring them back. One more time. Inhale, pull the hands away from the head here. Breathing here for 3. Rooting down through the sit bones, finding the length in the spine for 2. Core setting the ribs together for 1. Bring the hands back to the head. Beautiful. Nice. From here, we're just going to start to open the gaze up towards the ceiling. Draw the elbows out to the side and start to splay the heart up. And on our exhale, we're just going to close everything together. Tuck the chin. Bring the elbows as close as you can. And then we'll find that movement 2 more times. Inhaling, opening up. Looking up if that's available. Exhale, closing. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Nice. Coming back to our starting position here. Bringing the hands onto the back of the head. Maybe you're starting to feel a little warmth or heat or energy. Nice. From here, we're going to start to really pull the elbows behind us as much as we can. Yeah, just like that. Now we're going to move the hands away from the head here. Awesome. Breathing here. Bringing the ribs towards one another. Staying here for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the arms here. Flap your legs here. Maybe you swim your shoulders out a little bit. Nice. All right, we're going to make our way onto our hands and our knees here. So you can keep the blanket underneath you if you would like. If you don't want to, that's fine. My knees are a little sore from jujitsu, so I need to make sure I protect them. Nice, so you can curl the toes under here, or you can keep the tops of the feet on the mat. Finding your joints, stacking our shoulders over our hands as we splay out through the fingers. Yeah, perfect. Keeping the gaze between the hands here just for a breath. We're gonna start to pull our belly button in towards our spine. Just finding that core engagement. Yeah, nice. One more nice deep breath here. And we're gonna add a little bit of movement. So keeping the palm of our hand pushed into the earth, we're gonna start to lift our shoulders up, rounding through the top of our back here as we push the shoulders up towards the sky. Yeah, just like that. Exhale, come back to your neutral spine. 2 more times, we'll protract the shoulders up towards the ceiling, pushing through the hands, slightly rounding through the upper back. And exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale, push up, protract the shoulders. And exhale, nice. We'll bring our toes to touching in the back of the mat. And we're gonna bring our knees out as wide as it feels good. Maybe you have to unroll the blanket a little bit to help cushion the knees. I'm gonna do that just because my stance gets a little bit wider here. Nice. And then we're gonna sink our hips down and back here, coming into an extended child's pose. Walking the fingertips forward, bringing the forehead down to a block or the mat. Starting to notice here the sensation in our hips and our glutes. Noticing if there's any tension here, and kind of breathing into it. Kind of surrendering to it here. Nice. Starting to create space first mentally with our breath. Letting the ribs get nice and big as we pull the breath down into our diaphragm to the core of our being. And slowly letting it out. Nice. All right. Keeping the left hand forward towards the front of the room. On our next inhale, we're going to cactus the right elbow up towards the ceiling here. Take a peek up at the ceiling, wiggle the fingers, and then we're going to thread the needle here, bringing the right hand underneath the left shoulder. Placing the right cheek on the earth, maybe onto a block. Nice. And just breathing here as we start to open up not only through our shoulder girdle, but also our hips. Finding length with that hand, the top hand as it walks away from the body. Nice. Now we're gonna stay here for a few breaths, so there's a few options for that left hand. We can bring the left hand underneath the left elbow and kind of roll more up onto that right shoulder to open up a little bit more. We can keep it out in front of us, walking it further away from the body. We can bring that left hand all the way around the small of our back here, creating a little bind. Nice. Beautiful. Just breathing into the sensations here for 2 more nice big breaths. Nice. We'll slowly bring that left hand underneath the left shoulder. On our next inhale, we're going to unwind that right arm and slowly pull our chest up off the earth as we unwind all the way up towards the ceiling. Nice. Bring that right hand down. From here, we're going to curl the toes under. We're going to start to push through our hands, straighten our arms as we come onto our toes, as our knees come out side to side, coming into a little froggy pose. Dropping the chin to the chest, maybe the gaze goes towards the heels. Perfect. Nice. Finding length in the arms, starting to open through the shoulders. One more nice deep breath here. And we'll slowly come back into our child's pose, knees out wide, walking the hands out in front of us, untucking the toes. Nice. Keeping the right hand down, on our next inhale, we'll cactus the left elbow up towards the ceiling. Yeah. And then we'll slowly thread that needle, bringing that left arm under, setting the left cheek on a block or the earth. Breathing into the sensation in the hips, into the shoulder girdle to help you release a little bit more. Taking this opportunity just to notice what's going on. And as you notice what's going on, can you notice it without attaching to it? Without going down a black hole, a little spiral of why you feel how you feel right now. Nice. A few more breaths here, doing whatever you would like with that right arm. Maybe it stays out in front of you. Maybe it comes underneath the elbow to help push more up onto that shoulder. Maybe you find a small bind behind the small of the back. Nice. 2 more nice deep breaths here. We'll slowly bring that right hand underneath the shoulder. We're going to unwind that left arm all the way up, bringing the chest up off the earth, and then bringing the hand underneath the shoulder. We're going to curl the toes under, keep the knees out wide as we come back into that little froggy pose. Letting the hips sink down and back. Embracing the rounding of the spine. Yeah, nice. One more nice deep breath here. And we'll slowly come back to our tabletop pose. Finding the shoulders over the wrists, the knees over the hips over the knees. And we're just gonna move through a couple cat and cows. So finding a length in our arms here, and our next inhale, we'll drop the belly, take the gaze up, let the heart splay open towards the front of the room as we tuck the tailbone up. On our exhale, we'll curl everything under, push through the arms, take the gaze to the belly button, round through the spine. And then just moving a few times with your breath through this movement, the spinal flexion and extension. I know I said we're working on our shoulders and a little bit of our hips today, but the truth is our whole body is connected. So loving our whole body here for 2 more breaths. Finding any movement that feels good too as you take these cat and cows. Maybe it feels good to circle the hips slightly. Maybe it feels good to sink back towards the heels a little bit. Nice. Beautiful. All right, on our next inhale, we're gonna drop down to our belly here. Bringing our hands out in front of us, setting up for Sphinx pose. So spreading out through the hands, they're about shoulder width distance apart. Yeah, and drawing the elbows underneath the shoulders here. Nice, perfect. All right, we're just gonna take our gaze between our hands just for a breath or two. Feeling the pelvis and the tops of the feet rooted down into the earth. Maybe ever so slightly extending those legs out a little bit more behind you. Nice. And then we'll slowly take our gaze up towards the front of the room here. Starting to open up through our throat. Yeah, nice. All right. Maybe you stay here with the gaze at the front of the room. Maybe it feels good to go where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe it feels good to swallow. Nice. Bringing the gaze back down between the hands. We're gonna add on a little bit of movement here. Nice. So from here, we're gonna take our right hand and we're gonna bring it to kind of like make an L with our left. So we have our left hand out in front of us where it started, and our right hand is right in front of us. Nice. From here, we're gonna start to bend our left foot, bringing the heel towards the bum. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna start to roll onto the right side body as we start to bring that left foot behind us. Maybe the left forearm starts to reach up off the earth. Yeah, perfect, just like that. Nice. Breathing here, starting to find the opening, the sensation wherever it may be. And then slowly coming back onto the stomach. Nice, we'll do that 2 more times. On our next inhale, bending the leg, lifting up and over. Maybe the toes hover, maybe they touch the earth. And slowly come back. 1 more time. Inhale, push up and over. Let that foot get heavy. Start to breathe all the way into the side body, the right side body, the left side body. Maybe the gaze goes behind you towards the foot, maybe not. 1 more nice deep breath here, and slowly come back to center. We'll bring both hands alongside of us on the outer edges of the mat, tenting them up as if we had something underneath them. We'll drop our forehead down towards the mat here just for a breath. Yeah, starting to breathe into the elbows to the armpits. On our next inhale, we're gonna draw the back of the skull up towards the ceiling, lift the chin and the chest up off the earth, and start to wave through the spine. Perfect. Exhale, come all the way down. 1 more time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Lovely. Nice, bringing the arms back out to our Sphinx pose, parallel to one another. We're gonna take those floor scorpions to the opposite side. So this time bringing the left hand towards the right here, making like a little right angle. Kind of knowing where we're going. So maybe you need to pull the arm a little bit closer in or a little further away so you have more space for the body. We're gonna start to bend that right foot towards the bum here. And then we're gonna start to roll up and over, dropping that foot behind us. Yeah, just like that. Breathing into the hips, into the ribs, to the side body, into the shoulders. We start to find mobility and strength. And slowly coming back to the stomach. Nice. Moving through that 2 more times. Inhale, pull the heel towards the bum. Start to roll up onto the left side body. Dropping that foot behind us. Nice. Slowly coming back. Last time, and we'll hold it. Bending the knee, moving methodically through this, pushing up and over. Maybe the gaze goes to the back toes or the back of the room, maybe not. Big, big breath in here. And we'll come all the way back down to our stomach. Cactusing the arms off to either side, tenting up on the fingertips, dropping the forehead down towards the earth. Letting the shoulders open up here, the armpits open up here. On our next inhale, we'll wave back up. Nice. And exhale, wave down. One more time. Inhale, wave up. Exhale, down. Beautiful. We'll bring our arms out to T, palms face down here. Nice. Yeah, maybe move the bolster out of the way. We're going to rest the right cheek. So we're going to kind of move through that movement a little in a similar fashion. So we're going to bend the left foot towards the bum once more. Keeping the right hand really plugged into the earth, like really spread out through the right fingertips here. We're going to start to lift that leg up and over, but this time keeping the right shoulder on the earth, resting the right cheek onto the earth, and starting to bring this twist into the shoulders. Nice. Yeah, maybe that foot hovers. Maybe you bring the left hand underneath the elbow here to help push up onto that right shoulder a little bit more. Nice. Big, big breath in here. And exhale, come all the way back to the stomach. We'll take it to the second side. Resting the left cheek this time. Really plugging down through the left hand. We'll bend the right heel towards the bum. We'll inhale, lift that leg up and over as we roll onto the left side body. Letting that left shoulder really stay planted into the earth here. Start to really open up through all those nooks and crannies that we have in it. Nice. Letting our breath be nice and big here to let our body know that we're okay. One more nice deep breath. Slowly coming all the way back to our stomach. We'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, keeping the forehead maybe on the earth here or hovering right up off the earth. We're going to hug the elbows in close to the body. Tuck the toes under here. Inhale, and on your exhale, push back up to your tabletop pose and curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. So spreading out through the hands here. Starting to pedal through the feet here, bending the knees, coming up onto the toes. Bringing the gaze maybe up to like your crotch or your belly button here to really let the head dangle. Yeah. Feeling the thumb and the first finger really push into the mat here. Yeah, and walk your legs out just like that. Yeah, perfect. We'll shake our head yes a few times. And then shake it no a few times more. Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. All right, we're going to come up onto our tiptoes here. Spreading out through our hands. We're just going to tiptoe as many times as we can to meet our hands at the front of the mat. You can take 2 steps, you can take 7, whatever works here. Eventually making our way to a forward fold. Maybe bringing the block underneath your hands for a little support. Finding all 4 corners of the feet planted into the earth, and maybe even finding a little bend in the legs. My first forward fold, I always like to bend through my legs to start to open up through the lower back. Letting the head generously dangle here. And starting to breathe into the backs of the legs. Opening up through the hamstrings. Nice. Beautiful. 2 more nice big breaths here, just like this. Plugging down through all four corners of the feet, the big toes, the pinky toes, both sides of the heels. We're gonna keep the chin tucked as long as possible as we roll up inch by inch, nice and slow, letting the arms stay heavy. Nice and slow, like, nice. Rolling all the way up. Then bringing the arms up here, the gaze up. Big breath in, maybe you start to shoot the hips forward as you reach a little bit behind you. And then drop the arms alongside the hips. We're gonna go down the same way we came up. So starting to tuck the chin here, we're just gonna roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, inch by inch. Staying plugged into our feet here. Not worried about how much time it takes you as you roll all the way down. Nice. Grabbing opposite elbows here for ragdoll, we'll just gently sway side to side. Letting the head dangle, playing with the weight distribution in our feet as we move side to side. Beautiful. One more nice big breath here. And we'll drop the hands down towards the earth, make our way to the top of the mat if we're not there already. And we're just gonna tiptoe the feet all the way to the back of the mat, coming back into our downward facing dog. Spreading out through the arms, letting them be nice and long here. Taking the gaze up, maybe towards the belly button or between the thighs. Nice. And starting to notice here the shoulders as we slightly shrug them together. Yeah, perfect. One more nice deep breath just like that. And on our exhale, we'll come down to our hands and our knees. Nice. We're gonna grab our bolster here. So we made it through our warm up and through a little bit of our myofascia release, but we're gonna get a little deeper into it. So grabbing our bolster and bringing it to the top quarter of our mat, we're gonna come onto our right side body. So we're gonna let our hips come down, and we can either like herky out our legs here, bringing them into a 99 position, or you can stack your legs here. You can kind of find what works for you. As we get into this next pose, sometimes it really affects my hips, so I like to have a blanket underneath me because we're gonna be driving our hips down, and sometimes that can get a little uncomfortable. Nice, beautiful. From here, we're just gonna start to fold ourselves over the bolster here. So bringing the bolster underneath like our third and fourth rib, and then bringing that right hand underneath the head here for support. Moving around so that the hips are comfortable, moving the legs however is comfortable. Nice. Awesome. And as we start to open up here, we're going to start to release that right arm out towards the front of the room and just gently drop the head. Nice. Breathing here. We won't stay here long, and you may or may not feel a lot of sensation here. If you do feel sensation, we're looking for a sensation of no more than 4 or 5 out of a scale of 10. If you don't feel much sensation here, that's all right. We're going to get a little bit deeper. So taking 2 more breaths just like this. Letting the top ribs splay out in all directions. Nice. And then I'm just going to move your block a little bit closer to you. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to bring that hand back underneath our head here. And then we're going to slowly sit all the way back up. We're going to remove our bolster now. And we're going to bring our block underneath the same place where we just were. So bringing the block to the top quarter of our mat. We're going to slowly come down here. And we're going to find now the block underneath the top ribs in our armpit. So we're starting to work into the lats here. And now we have a couple settings of the block. We can bring it onto the lowest setting or the highest setting. Now let's start with the lowest setting. Bringing that hand underneath the head here for support, letting the hips get comfy. And starting to push here the ribs so that they're stacked over one another. Yeah, just like that. Beautiful. Breathing into the sensation, maybe it's a little bit more intense than what it first was. And deciding here, you can keep your head supported, or you can start to release your head and let your head drop to your shoulder as you breathe here into this opening. So our breath is really important when we start to release in our myofascial tissue. It's important so that our body knows that we're okay, we're supported, and so that our body knows that it's time for healing. So we'll stay in this for about 20 more seconds because it takes about 30 seconds to really start to get into our myofascial tissue. Yeah. Beautiful. Nice. Breathing into this interconnected tissue that directly responds to resistance and pressure. Nice. So it's believed that when we start to release one part of our body within this chain of our myofascial tissue, we can start to relieve tension throughout the whole chain in our body. So working into the lats here, underneath the armpit, someplace where we maybe don't normally target. We're starting to help the shoulder girdle and the side body open up a little bit more. So one more nice big breath here. And we'll bring that left hand down in front of us. And we're just gonna slowly sit all the way up. We're gonna 99 our legs here, making 2 little right angles with our legs. Yeah. We'll bring our right hand down, reach that left arm up and over. Keeping that left hip bone rooted down, the left sit bone, even though it may not touch. So starting to find length in the side body here and starting to open up the top ribs towards the ceiling. Yeah, perfect. One more nice big breath. Now we'll come all the way up and we're gonna switch sides. It might feel a little awkward, but that's okay. Bringing that left hand down, reaching the right arm up, finding length here. Rooting down through the sit bone and starting to reach up and over. Ooh. There may be a lot of sensation here, maybe in the knees, the ankles, the hips. But start to notice here as we draw the top rib behind us. Bringing that top shoulder onto the back body. Yeah, nice. One more nice deep breath. And slowly come back up to center. Whew. Nice, we're gonna switch sides. So bringing the bolster first to begin with, bringing our block with us. Again, you can 99 the legs here. You can stack the knees if that feels good. We're gonna slowly lower down onto the bolster here. First, bringing the more bottom part of the ribs onto the bolster. Supporting the head however we would like. And just breathing into the sensation. Again, it might not be a lot of sensation here. Maybe it is. But knowing that whatever we're doing, we're starting to open up through this tissue. Starting at the bottom of this side meridian of the body, so that we can start to get to the tighter places in the armpit. Nice. Breathe in here. So these self-myofascial release techniques are designed to help encourage our inhibited tissue or the restrictions in our body, essentially to help us let go. This in turn will have a really positive effect on our mobility, on our strength gaining, on the ability to passively take the joint through its optimal range of motion. But what's really cool about self-myofascial release too is the effect it can have on the nervous system. Beautiful. We'll slowly lift back up off this bolster here, and we're gonna set up for our block to make the sensation a little bit more intense. So bringing the block, again, we can bring it on the lowest setting or the high or the medium setting, not the highest setting, but just slowly draping the self over. This time bringing it on the top part of the ribs and more into the armpit. Nice, trying to stack the ribs here so that they're on top of one another. Supporting the head however you need, supporting the legs, the hips, and then maybe slowly resting the head down. And coming back to the breath again, so that our SMR, our self-myofascial release, can really get its fullest impact here. Allowing the nervous system to communicate with our central nervous system. Our fascia is loaded with sensory nerves that directly communicate with the brain and the spinal column. Nice. Beautiful. Staying here for about 15 more seconds. Nice. And we'll slowly support ourselves to come all the way back up. Keeping our 99 position with our legs or creating it if it's not there already. We'll bring that left arm down, reach that right arm up and over, find a little bend here. Starting to pull the top ribs back, maybe the gaze goes up, maybe that bottom hand walks a little bit further out. Still trying to reach that right sit bone down energetically, even though it may not touch. Nice. One more nice deep breath here. And we'll come all the way back up through center, this time lifting the left arm up, finding length here, finding both sit bones rooted down, and then we'll reach up and over. Nice. Again, trying to pull that top rib up towards the ceiling. Maybe the hand walks out. Nice. One more nice big breath. And we'll come all the way back up. Nice. All right, so we're gonna grab our ball here and we're gonna make our way onto our bums, bringing both legs out towards the front of the room here. We're gonna come down onto our back, but I'm just gonna show you what we're gonna be targeting. So we're gonna start on the right side and we're gonna be targeting our rhombus muscles. So it's a large group of muscles in your upper back and they're made up of a whole bunch of different things. So it's essentially kind of what we're gonna be targeting is we have our spine and about a little bit under our shoulder blade here. We're gonna be targeting this muscle here that kind of diagonally moves down from right here to right here. So when we lay down, we're gonna bring the ball underneath us and we're gonna slowly lay down on it. So I like to just set the ball down before we lay down and then just slowly bring myself onto it. So finding the shoulder girdle here, that big shoulder blade, the bony part, and then just moving it ever so slightly down. So we don't want it on the spine, we want it to the right of the spine. And we just kind of want to find a little place in our body where we can start to find feeling. Nice. So starting to acclimate to the ball, maybe it feels good to bring the knees up towards the ceiling, the soles of the feet on the earth. And we're just going to bring that right arm out to T. Just starting to acclimate to the pressure here. Starting to acclimate and notice what's going on. And then if we haven't brought our feet underneath us, we're going to bring the feet underneath us. Yeah, just like that. And we're just going to start to lift the hips ever so slightly up as we push more pressure into this ball. You can stay here, or you can start to make little circles with the ball here, moving the body around, starting to breathe into right between the spine and that shoulder bone. Yeah, nice. Breathing here for a few more breaths, letting our nervous system that we're okay. Nice, beautiful. On our next inhale, we're gonna reach the hand all the way up towards the ceiling. Palm is facing the left side of the room. From here, we're just gonna find a little internal and external rotation with the thumb. So we're gonna start to pull the thumb towards the front of the room as it brushes over the left side of the room. Yeah, just like that. And then inhale, we're gonna take it all the way behind us and all of the thumb. Yeah, nice. Bringing it back to center. On our next inhale, we're gonna drop the right hand over to the left shoulder. Yeah, just like that. Beautiful, you can stay here. You can start to make little circles with the elbow. Making little, maybe making them bigger. Just starting to work into that rhombus muscle here. Nice. Maybe you switch directions of the circle on your elbow. Maybe not. One more circle here, then inhale, reach the arm all the way up towards the ceiling. This time we're gonna drop the hand behind us, bringing the knuckles, maybe hovering up off the earth, maybe on the earth. Breathing here into the sensation. Nice, one more nice deep breath. And then we're gonna slowly roll onto the left side body, remove the ball here. And just bring both shoulders onto the earth. Nice. Inhale, we're gonna reach the arms up towards the ceiling, but drop the shoulders down so that they're resting on the earth. Yeah. From here, we're gonna kick both legs up towards the ceiling. Straighten as much as you like, or keep a little bend in the knees if that feels good. But just flex the toes down towards the nose. So feeling the whole spine on the mat here. The lower back, both shoulders. Finding a little neutrality here as we reset. Nice. One more nice deep breath. Let's point and flex the toes a few times. Wiggle the fingers a few times. And then set the feet down, release the arms. We're gonna take it to the second side. So maybe this time you just shove the ball underneath you. Maybe you roll back onto it, whatever works. Finding the shoulder right here, the shoulder blade. Finding the spine here, being to the left of the spine. And then just starting to acclimate to the pressure of that ball. Finding stillness at first. Nice. Then maybe it feels good to start to push into the feet and make little circles on the ball here. Kind of just pinning the ball, moving around however it feels right. Finding that sensation. Again, not looking for anything more than a 4 or 5 out of a scale of 10. Nice. So by doing this, we're kind of trying to remove the scar tissue in all of like the buildup of our myofascial tissue here so that it can rekindle itself. So it can open up with oxygen so we can create space. Nice. If you brought your hips up, slowly set them down. We'll inhale, reach that left arm up. Nice, we're gonna find that internal and external rotation. So slowly taking the thumb towards the front of the room, and then behind us towards the left side of the room. Just nice and slow. Perfect, a few more times just like that. And then we'll drop that left hand down to the right shoulder here. Maybe staying here, maybe starting to make little circles with that elbow. Maybe making them bigger or smaller. Then switching sides of whatever way you're doing it, just going the opposite way. Nice. Inhale, reach the arm all the way up. And we're gonna drop the knuckles behind us. Maybe they hover up off the earth, maybe they reach all the way down. Breathing here, noticing the sensations. Beautiful. Nice, one more nice deep breath. And we'll roll off the ball, bring it out to the side, bringing both shoulders on the ground, reach the hands up. We'll come into that pose again where we reach the legs up towards the ceiling, find the lower back, push into the earth, the shoulders push into the earth, lengthen the spine here. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we're just gonna hug our knees into our chest. Keeping the whole spine on the earth here. Pulling them in, maybe moving them around a little bit to give yourself a little back massage on the lower back. Nice. Beautiful. And then bringing our knees back into our chest, we're just going to rock and roll on our spine lengthwise a few times. massaging out the back meridian here. Go ahead a few more times. And then eventually making our way up to an easy seat. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna set up for a little restore now. So we have a blanket. If you are cold or anything or would like to cover yourself up, then do so. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our block to its highest setting on the top corner of our mat, or the back half of our mat, yeah. Then we're gonna bring our bolster over it, just like this, so that it's lined up. Nice. Lovely. And then we're gonna bring our lowest part of our back to this bolster here. Bringing our soles of our feet together. We're gonna slowly drape the self over the bolster. Bringing the arms out alongside of you, starting to open through the chest. Maybe it feels good to close the eyes here. We will be holding this for a few, maybe about a minute and 30 seconds. We're gonna use all the props here. So I'm gonna bring this, would you like to have a sandbag? You can bring it on your hips here, or if your feet are, soles of your feet are together, I can bring it on your feet. So if you can do this, oh. Okay. How does that feel? Okay. Awesome. So we're just gonna hold in this pose for a few breaths to help us open up through the chest, help us open up through the shoulders. Maybe it feels good to soften the eyes or close the eyes. And just allow here gravity to do the work. We're in our restorative portion of our class. Letting the sit bones be heavy, the lower half of the body be nice and heavy. And just surrender to gravity. Allowing the breath just to be nice and natural here. Maybe doing a body scan from the top of the head all the way down to the feet. We'll find 4 more nice big breaths here. Nice. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open here. We're going to just bring the hands alongside the hips to help ourselves sit up here. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to turn onto our right side, keeping the bolster right where it is. Removing the sandbag. We're going to 99 our legs out towards the gray wall. Bringing our right hip as close as we can to the bolster here. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to bring both hands to frame the bolster here as we drip the stomach down onto the bolster. Maybe the gaze goes over to the right side of the room, maybe towards the left if that feels good. Nice. Just breathing here into this big twist. But finding a little restoration as we do it, like trying to find a little stillness. Trying to just surrender here into this asana, this posture. Holding here for about 30 more seconds. Starting to find heaviness in the lower half of the body. We'll bring the hands underneath us and we'll sit all the way up. Turning our lower back to the bolster here. And then just bringing both legs out in front of us, hands alongside of us, and just windshield wipering the feet or the knees side to side a few times. Yeah, kind of giving yourself a little butt massage as we do this. And then switching sides here, bringing the opposite hip alongside the bolster here. 90-90 the legs so that we have two 90-degree angles. Bringing the hands to frame the bolster as we drip our way down. Maybe resting the right cheek or the left cheek. Nice. Beautiful. Allowing the self to surrender here. Wow, 3 more deep breaths just like this. And slowly bringing the hands underneath us, we'll sit all the way up. We're going to keep our legs 99 out towards the gray wall here. And we're just going to walk the hands out in front of us and fold over that front leg. Trying to drive both sit bones down. Maybe bringing the hands underneath the head for support, coming onto the forearms, maybe coming all the way down here. Breathing into the hips. Nice. One more nice deep breath, just like this. And exhale, we'll sit all the way up and we'll just switch sides here. Flipping our 90-90 over to the opposite side. Finding both sit bones rooted down here. Starting to walk forward, maybe coming onto the forearms. Maybe just tucking the chin here. Maybe coming all the way down and just finding what works for you as we breathe into the hips. Two more nice deep breaths here. And we'll slowly sit all the way back up. Nice. We're going to bring the soles of our feet onto the earth and we're going to take one more movement before we are done here. So bringing the soles of the feet on the earth, we're going to bring the hands facing the body. From here, we're going to lift the hips up and come into reverse tabletop. Starting to open up the heart towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Starting to open up through the arms, finding that shoulder mobility here, that shoulder strength. Drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting through the hips, holding here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Coming all the way down onto our seat. Crossing the legs here if that feels right. And we'll just take one more thing. Bringing the hands onto our knees. We're just going to take little circles all the way around a few times. Nice. Maybe noticing how we created a space. Maybe this feels a little bit different than how we started our class. And then switching sides. Nice. Nice. And then coming all the way back up. We'll bring our hands to heart center, gently close our eyes, and let's just take 2 big community breaths in and out through the nose. On our next inhale, inhale. Bring your hands up to your forehead center. Thank you so much for unrolling your mat, for creating space in your mind, creating space in your body. I honor and salute each one of you. Namaste. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure you all drink water today because we did get into the myofascial system, so we need lots of water to reset that. All right. Thank you so much. See you next time.